What's going on, everybody? And welcome to The Lions Show. I'm your host, Louis Lyons, right here on this hot day. For the ones that don't know who I am, I urge you guys to check me out on Instagram, Facebook, follow me on YouTube, and on Spotify. If you guys go to Spotify, go to the search box on top, type in my name, Louis the Lions, you'll get all the podcast shows that I've done so far. Anyways, with that in mind, guys, I do have my first copy of my inspirational book out, ladies and gentlemen, which you guys can find through Amazon or your local bookstores, or you guys could buy it through me. If you guys are interested of my first copy of my inspirational sayings and quotes book, please get a hold of me on Messenger. All right. Now, with that also in mind, I'm working on my second inspirational book. It will be coming out possibly next year, and I also already am working on my third book, which will be a book about the Lions. Yours truly. Anyways, guys, I got a few minutes here before I got, family coming in and coming over. But, I was watching the news here, and this goes for any state. All I see is the government locking up our homeless vets, our homeless seniors, and young homeless men and women. Now, I don't think, that they belong in jail, because these are not criminals. These are not convicts. These are certain individuals that are homeless and have no place to go. And you know what? Sometimes I know, they go to the shelter. There's communities out there for them, this and that. Those businesses are only open on business hours. They need a place 24 hours, more than a shelter. Because you know what? Shelters anywhere in states, are just not safe. There are people getting, I hate to say it, but raped just like jail. They're getting stabbed or beat up, hurt, or they're just getting turned away at the door because they're just too full. So instead of throwing our homeless individuals, men and women and children, in jail if they have not commit a crime, then why don't we try to put our heads together and come up with something as a good idea to start small in one state, all right? Let's put an idea together to get them off the street. Because, a lot of them have mental health issues. And again, that's no place to throw an individual at is in a mental ward. Because, they feel like they have been forgotten by society, like they do not matter. So instead of throwing them away and treating them like if they are nothing, or treating them like they are a convict, let's try to get them the help that they need, especially our homeless vets. They do not belong on the streets. They do not have to go through trash cans to look for something to eat. These are men and women that have fought for their country, for our country, for your families, for my families, for you, for me, so we can lay down at night and sleep at peace. But yet they're roaming the streets homeless, hungry. And what do? We lock them away in jail. Because society says, you know what, there's nothing else we can do for them. I think that's a bullshit excuse. And I really, excuse my language, but I think it's an excuse. Now, if I had the money, if I had the sponsorship, if I had somebody out there that actually believed in me and believed in the idea of what I'm trying to come up with, if I had the sponsorship, someone that had the money to throw on the table, to let me gather, a good amount of people that I trust, that I know, that would do more help for the community than anything. I would be the first one, ladies and gentlemen, out there on the streets, talking to our homeless vets, talking to our homeless seniors, talking to our homeless individuals, men and women, children. Children. These are children. They do not belong on streets. They belong in homes. They belong in schools, getting education. Not with gangs, not running the streets, not selling drugs, not getting into trouble. This is what I'm saying. I have an idea of how we could come and do this, but it's going to take more than just myself. It's going to take a lot more than just myself to do this. You know, I thought that it would be enough to write my inspirational books as being a first-time book author ever in my life. I never, ever thought or even dreamed of being a book author, to be honest with you. I never thought it could be possible. But when I did reach that goal, and I accomplished it successfully, now I feel like I could do more. If I could bring my inspiration and hope in my words into my books, then you know what? I want to be that type of individual that has a good group behind me to stand with me to do this. Because I feel like I need to do more. You know, I feel like there's people out there that are suffering every day with depression, anxiety, homelessness. You know, maybe just out there with no knowledge, thinking that, you know, life is over when it's really not. You know, do not give up on yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Do not. Because I guarantee it, not only if you give up on yourself, the world's not going to care, but I guarantee you, if you give up on yourself, you will feel like life is over. But I'm here to tell you, as a living proof, that life is not over. You just have to sometimes fight those demons. You have to fight the the ugliness of negative people, negative energy. You know, you have to avoid negative places, negative situations. But you could do it. And you know what? We could do this. We can make a world that we live in a better place. But it's going to take each and every one of you, including me, to do this. We can clean up our streets, clean up our schools, clean up our parks, clean up our malls. Get rid of the violence, the gangs, the drug dealers. Clean up our airports, clean up our subway stations. You know, clean up our public transportation so people can go to work safe again without having to fear of being stabbed or beat up. Food for thought, guys. Anyways, I'm Louis the Lions. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later.